welcome to another episode here on the Minecraft Let's Play. We are standing out here a long way from home in the wilderness, looking out over a swamp, because I am in need of a very neat structure that are in swamps, and that's the witch hut that we can just sight a little bit behind that tree. And why do we need witch huts then? Yeah, we need redstone, because with all of my farms that I've built these couple of episodes that has been, and what we need to build in the future, I'm going to need a lot of redstone contraption, a lot of sorting systems, and also a lot of automated redstone parts. And I have I think it's not even one stack in my in my collection area back home, so I am in need of some way to get a lot of redstone. And I have noticed with the 1.18 update, you don't get a lot of redstone since it's placed sort of similar to diamonds, as I have understood it. So you get the most redstone down in the bottom of the world, but there it's very hard to mine because it's deep slate and you can't insta mine deep slate. And it's also because when we are in late game like we are now, with having defeated the dragon, we are doing all sorts of other stuff rather than just surviving. We need a lot more, or we don't actually do a lot more of the mining. It's a very little part of the experience, at least for me. So instead we're going to go to the other source that we can get for redstone, and that's killing witches. And this is one of the witch huts that are closest to our base. It's still very far away. I can show you. Our base is around 0 point, but we are around 15,000 blocks, or 1,500 I mean, on the x-axis, and 5,000 blocks out on the z coordinate. So it's a lot of away, because I don't have any swamps in the nearby to the home base. So here is the closest one that I could find. I have searched all over the world, it feels like. I've already taken care of the witch as well that was in here. But we are not just going to build a farm just like that. I'm going to take this a little bit slow this time and actually explain it a little bit. And it's just because I've sort of done this a little bit by myself. The farm is it's inspired by other farms, so if you recognize some of it, it's going to be a little bit similar to other farms that are out there. But I have sort of worked out the redstone and the things that I want to happen myself, water canals and everything that I need. So it's a little bit of both worlds, a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of my own head. So we're going to start by just explaining one thing, if you guys are either new to Minecraft or it's something that you haven't explored before. And this is that the structures like the witch hut or anything other that you can find in Minecraft, Nether Fortress for example is a very great example, where there can only spawn some certain mobs, and that's witches for witch huts. For example, we also have wither skeletons for the fortresses in the Nether. And inside of these structures you can get mobs to spawn. Usually when you have witch huts it's only spawning inside of around here, but they are not bound to that part. And it's turning into nighttime, so I'm going to have to go up and just sleep, because yeah, I put my bed over by the nether portal that we have here. So wait just a minute so I can explain further when it's daytime. So where was I? Yes, we were talking about the which bounding boxes, as they are called. And I have just installed a little bit of a mod to help me with explaining this, because it's much easier to show when you have some visuals. So I'm going to use what's you can see here is the Minihud mod. I'm going to of course link it down in the description if you want to install it yourself. But this shows that it's just not the inside of the house that is actually able to spawn mobs. Everything inside this purple shape or square, or no, it's not a square, rectangle, this box at least, is able to spawn witches. And that's what we are going to use in the farm. Each and every one of these are going to be able to spawn, and that's for I'm going to make a platform. So we're going to have one on the lowest here, then 2 blocks up having the next one, and then we have one more. And I think either we can maybe make it 4 4 levels high, or we're going to just make it 3. I have to check actually how high we can make it. I've just done mock-ups in my creative world to know what I want to do, but I haven't made a full farm, just a sort of layer by layer design, so I know what I can stack on top. So what we need to do first is to actually take down this whole witch hut. We're going to need to get all the materials marked out, and I'm going to start by building the first layer, I think, of this farm. The first layer is finished almost. I haven't put in a lot of the redstone components yet, just the bare minimums, because I wanted to try and explain this before I go into sort of build mode and build up all of the farm, and then just have to explain it afterwards. So what we have done here is to put in the sort of detection system and the flushing system that I need to make, and of course the drop chute that's going to push the witches into a killing chamber. So what we have here then, where I'm going to start, of course, we have this here, which is going to transport the witches, as I've said. And how do we get them down there? Well, we're going to use the dispensers here. They are going to be filled with water buckets, and they are going to get a signal from these observers. And how do these observers then get signal to push the water and push the witches into there? Well, they are going to get detected by the what are these called? Tripwire hooks, yes. A component that I don't use very often, so I forgot the name for a bit there. But yeah, these tripwire hooks, if you don't know, sort of act as traps. They are detected, so if you have put, for example, as I've done here with string, then they detect, and you can see that these ones that I'm standing in differs from the other ones. That's only because they detect that an entity, a mob, is down into the string here, and it detects that and sends actually out a signal from that later on that we are going to use. When that happens and we can have witches spawning, they can spawn inside of the string here, then they are going to get detected by these tripwire hooks, and we're going to take that signal, send it into here where our observers are going to trigger and send out water that's going to flush the witches. They are going to go in here, reset the system for new witches to spawn, and then we have a working system, hopefully. So yeah, this is the bare minimums. As I've said, it's not completely finished. I need to put in some stuff for decoration and everything. We're going to put in some tinted glass we can watch into the farm. We're going to also hook up all the redstone that's going to be needed from both of these tripwire hooks and also the observers and everything that we need to. And yeah, I'm going to get started on that, and we'll see each other once progress has been made a little bit more. Okay, so some progress has been made, and as you can see here we have a lot of blocks placed and a sort of shape that we have this box down here that are around all of the witches and witch spawns. And yeah, I have died as well during this building process. I've lost to my elytra, and I just see now that I have missed in putting a block there. I'm going to change that in a little bit minute, because it would bother me if that would look like that. So I think we need to make these two sections here into right blocks. And we can... I hear something. Where are you? There you are. I just want to check if he has anything good. No, nothing of that sort. Okay, back to explanation. So, when we look into here, we can't see many witches, and that's mostly because I am not at my AFK spot. But it's not even going to give us that much witches, even though I would stand up there, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. I just need to go up there because it's easier to show from the AFK platform. A little bit of visual help is always good. So we'll see. Yeah, I managed to land that. Not always I do. So here we are. We are around 120, I think 24 blocks or something from the actual killing chamber that's down there. And that's okay and dandy, but why do we not get a lot of witch spawns? A big reason for that is because we haven't put a lot of mob proofing. So we have, for example, I've looked into the mountain here. We have a lot of caves and everything that are not lit up, and we need those to be lit up as well, because if I once more should make or use the Minihud mod, we can get what's called a spawning sphere around here, and it's not shown through the glass here, so I'm just going to have to look over the edge a little bit. And as you can see here, we have a completely sphere around or a sphere around us, where it shows where the mobs can spawn or despawn rather. So anything outside of this bubble is despawn area, so no mobs are going to spawn there. But if we take a look here, you can see that a lot of the area as well, like these mountains here, a lot of all the other stuff can spawn mobs, because everything inside can spawn mobs that are spawnable blocks. So the ground down there, so when it turns into nighttime here, it's going to spawn a lot of mobs, and the witches are not prioritized or anything, so they are going to be part of it just the same as any other mob. So even though the actual farm mechanism is finished, we have a lot of work where I need to clear out all of this or lit up everything. I haven't decided yet of what I want to do. It's a lot of work, but if you remember the first witch farm I made, I actually went out and got a 128 block radius around the farm and just leveled everything in that area. It was much flatter, so we don't have a lot of mountain there, but I have done that before. Now we only need to get the things that's inside the spawning sphere here. When that all is cleared, and we can do it in all sorts of ways, then we're going to get a very big and very efficient farm. So I'm going to start by deciding if I want to clear this out or just lit it up, and we'll see each other once that work has been done. after that time lapse, and when I look out over here, standing behind the nether portal, you can see that not a lot of has changed around here. And yeah, I have the sort of sphere still here because it gets a little bit better in the effect. The only thing I've done is that I haven't gone the completely all the layers down here like the sphere is. For example, you can see here that it's much smaller up there where we can have that, and then we have this big circle down here. That's because I didn't feel like it didn't look good with together with the farm that was going to float that way in the air. So I decided that I just flood the last area here where I had a layer of water, because the swamp water was at that layer as well. That's why you can see the perimeter here where I've put up blocks, so it's a much easier. But if we take a look and just go through here and look here, you can see a little bit of what has happened. But when I turn off Minihud, you can see a lot more details and what has happened around here. I still have my 2 beacons left here with a lot of materials on them, and also I haven't gotten to actually removing them. But as you can see here, we have a lot of layers going down. It's a lot of stuff left, and I think it was the most top upper part of this thing was much higher, but it was, like I said, inside of the spawning sphere, so we couldn't do a lot of things over there. So now the only thing, or the only place where the witches can spawn is inside here, and mobs can spawn on these both spots here. They are going to take away, and also my nether portal here, that's going to get removed as well. I haven't moved it yet because I don't know where I want to move it just yet, so that's why we still have some stuff to do. But I also have to sort of show off this because it has taken a lot of time, and that's why the episode has taken a little bit longer than usual as well. This has taken a lot of time, a lot of hours. Just the last part of the time lapse where I went from around, I think it's this layer or something like that. So I think it's maybe 8 layers or something. Just that took 2 hours, and this has been many layers, so yeah, it has taken time, but now it's finished and we can get all the redstone that we need. And I also changed up a little bit about all of this, and oh, it's sounding a lot here, so I need to take down the block sounds, I think. No, that's not it either. Yeah, we take the whole volume down from the game instead. So yeah, down here we have, like I've showed you, all of the collection system and everything. And just by the time I've been here, I haven't AFK'd or anything like that. This has all been when I've been doing the perimeter. We have gotten almost a row of stuff here. We have sticks in a bunch. We have glass bottles, sugar, glowstone dust, the spider eyes, the redstone dust, and also gunpowder. All of the drops that you can get from witches, and pretty good amount, I think, for just me going around and actually going and yeah, just doing the stuff around here. So when I'm actually going to AFK and stand in the platform up there, it's going to be even better, because that's what the whole sort of point to this thing. We need to make this more efficient. So standing up there, it's not going to spawn any other mobs except for the witches inside of there. So I'm going to do that, and we get all the redstone that we need, and it's going to be a couple of hours of that as well, and you guys don't have to be here for that. So I'm going to turn over to you and look you in the eye, and hope that you have enjoyed this episode. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment down in the comment section. You can also subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. We'll see each other in the next episode. Goodbye.